lecture in supply chain management. So this is our introductory lecture. So in the last lecture, I've been talking about moral and philosophical foundation of this course, and in this lecture, we're actually studying with an introduction to the subject of supply chain management. So first of all, supply chain management is a really large field of study in businesses. So supply chain management is basically the process of creating value by providing products and services to customers through optimally managing processes, resources, and capabilities. So in the business, supply chain management is really important because this is a whole process of procuring and acquiring raw materials to manufacturing and to delivering these products to your end customers. So definitely this is a process that's relevant to every aspect of a business. So you guys talking about prerequisites, you guys may have studied marketing and operations management in your business studies course. So supply chain management can be linked to marketing, and it can be linked to a lot to operations management, because a large part of supply chain is manufacturing. And also in marketing, we've been talking about distribution channel as of how the products are distributed between, let's say, wholesalers to retailers to customers, and we talked about e-commerce. And so basically supply chain management is also about how to get this product from customer's order, basically the lead time from customer's order to the time the customer got his product. So all these processes between customers ordering and receiving the product is also part of supply chain management. So you guys may know about logistics, which is about how products are transported around, maybe from the wholesaler to the retailer to the customer. So logistic management is a subset, I would say, is a part of supply chain management. But supply chain management is a really broad studies. And people who study supply chain management can be managers, and there are also job positions such as supply chain managers, and also maybe coordinators or directors of a manufacturing, marketing, and operations management. So it's a very flexible study. It's not only a study that is enough once you complete it, but it's definitely a study that get in touch with many different business positions. It's definitely really meaningful, and it's really flexible. It doesn't really matter what job you are doing in the future. You can be a manager, you can work in marketing, but it's kind of flexible in terms of what departments are you going to work at, because this is an introductory course to one of these important broad processing business. Since it's really broad and wide, what jobs that you're going to choose later on do not really matter with the subject. It will eventually help you in some certain extent. Okay, so why does a firm exist? A firm exists to earn profit. So the goal of a firm is to generate profit. In turn, the firm maximizes its profits by creating value for the market. So the firm have to create value. And I've talked just now, value is basically the definition given how value creation is definitely it's just a text in red. And value creation is definitely the goal of supply chain management, because we're trying to create value. Does create value means increasing profit? Yes, it is. But value creation can also be increasing efficiency in terms to increase the profit, can be increasing the flexibility in terms to increase the profits, or decreasing the cost, or better managing different departments. Those can also contribute to value creation. But at the end, definitely value creation leads to the goal of a business to make revenues and generate profits and cash flows. So supply chain management is about creating value by coordinating activities, functions, and participants. So activities can include gathering raw materials, manufacturing and marketing, new product development and selling a product to the customers, deliveries and inventories holdings. And functions can be manufacturing, something like that, can be logistics as well, and product development, innovations. Participants can be kind of wholesalers, retailers, manufacturers, and delivery companies, logistics company, and also customers. Definitely the end participant that is definitely really important in supply chain management. And now let's see the first formula in supply chain management, which is value equal to utility decrease cost. So utility actually is how much value is this product creating in the market, which can be measured by maybe sales, can be measured by revenues, measured by profits. So when utilities reach to a high standard, which means customers are satisfied with your products and your products are getting popular sales, then you try to divide by the cost, then you see how much value are you creating. The larger the number you calculate from here, the larger the value. So hopefully this is straightforward. If you guys have any concerns over this period of this course, over any lecture, please feel free to comment below. I'll try my best to respond to you And also you guys, if you want to connect with me or contact, you can see my linking in my YouTube introduction. You can connect with me and we can discuss subjects related to supply chain management. Okay, so now let's look at the value creation hierarchy. Sorry, where should I put this? Okay, let's put it here. So now let's discuss about value creation hierarchy, because this is basically the process of creating value. So first of all, we should have resource capabilities and process. So in the definition just now, we've mentioned that value creation is done by management of process, resource, and capabilities. And actually, process, resource, and capability are the three fundamental building blocks of supply chain management. So it's really important to be able to assemble these three resources to be used for value creation. So after we input and assembled three of these fundamental building blocks, we're actually coming up and with our developed product or service, and then we publish them and sell them to the market. We try to create value, and in the end, our goal is to make profits. So why did I put these three fundamental blocks in a kind of a Venn diagram form? Is because I want to tell you guys that resource, process, and capabilities do overlap with each other, which means three of them are not independent variables, not independent kind of elements, because each of them rely on each other. A process cannot be carried out without certain capability. You need manufacturing capability, management capability, operations capabilities in order to just manufacture the products going through the manufacturing process. And you need a process to get the resources, and you also need capability, which can include financial capability or logistic capability just to buy the raw materials. Like if you are making a cake, your raw materials can be flour, it can be some milk, it can be a milk for your cream. So definitely three of them overlap. You can brainstorm how they overlap. You can give an example, for example, a bread business. You can talk about a computer business, just to see how they overlap with each other, so you know the importance of both assembling three of them and trying to apply each of them to each other. Yeah. Then why did I organize this hierarchy into value chain perspective, interfront coordination, supply chain management? This is because value chain perspective is definitely important. It is about how value is created through each process. How do we ensure efficiency in each process of supply chain management, starting from acquirement of raw materials to manufacturing to selling to the retailers to delivery to the customers. You need to make sure your value chain is creating value at each step. Then interfront coordination is definitely important, because usually a company doesn't do all the jobs in supply chain management by itself. Take Apple, for example. Apple assembles its products in California, but Apple's like iPhones, Apple's MacBooks, Apple's TVs actually manufactured back in China by a company named Foxconn. It is a Taiwanese manufacturing conglomerate, and basically the job for Foxconn is to manufacture the products of Apple and then deliver them to San Francisco. Deliver them to California for assemble. Then it's sold in United States and other countries around the world. So definitely interfront coordination is required for each businesses, because no businesses, really seldom businesses actually coordinate or work in the supply chain, starting from raw materials to selling to the customer. Some examples can be a local farm shop, because a farm shop is really a simple process. Maybe farmers grow, plant strawberries, and they sell their own strawberries in their own shop. So this is an example of a company managing or the whole supply chain management by itself. Maybe the farmers' children have a truck and they drive the truck to sell to their shop. So basically this is a really straightforward one, and there's no really interfront coordination required. But for big companies, as you see like Microsoft, you see Apple, or even like big companies like Coca-Cola, they all have certain stages. Even Coca-Cola keeps its secret recipe, but certain stages are outsourced to different companies. Like Coca-Cola, although Coca-Cola keeps its recipe of how secretly, because they don't want to reveal the secret of how Coke is produced, but still the raw materials are not originated by Coca-Cola's company. They probably bought them from something else, like maybe sugar company, maybe a company who like the carbonate company who produce even can companies who produces sugar and glucose. So definitely for large companies, you will see that not one company, the one conglomerate doesn't really coordinate all. So definitely interfront coordination is important. And how do we ensure interfront coordination requires us our capability to be able to effectively manage each step and to ensure no mistakes are made, and ensure accuracy and efficiency to be made in each step, and to let the process go smoothly efficiency from our raw materials procurement, our requirement to selling to the customer. So we try to make sure this is smooth. So this can be quite difficult because let's say if I'm Microsoft, so I have to first of all manage how raw materials go to the factories for manufacturing. Are the manufacturers manufacturing what we want? Because Microsoft's employees are designing the product, maybe let's say Surface Pro, but then the Surface Pro computer is to be manufactured by someone else. So you have to make sure the manufacturer makes what Microsoft wants to be made. And then after that, we have to make sure when the products published to the market, the delivery companies, maybe let's say delivery company, what are some examples? Some delivery companies, you have to make sure they can deliver the products effectively to the customers. So you have to make coordination with your manufacturers, with your raw materials provider, with your delivery companies, and many stages. So it can be difficult. It can sound simple, it can sound straightforward, but it can be really difficult to be carried out, and to carry out with efficiency while saving cost. And then now it comes to supply chain management. So while we manage our supply chain, basically we are implementing interfirm coordination in the value chain perspective. Now, what is value chain? So in the value chain, this is proposed by Michael Porter in 1985. So the value chain here basically shows you the primary activities and the supportive activities in value chain. So I just want to clear adopt that supportive activities do not mean they are less important than primary activities, because Porter classifies them into the umbrella of supportive activities just to want to ensure that people understand they are not the primary, they are not the frontline activities, but they are definitely important as supporting details. So basically primary activities will not be able to carry out efficiently and carry out successfully without supportive activities. So primary activities include upstream activities and downstream activities. So upstream activities are those more linked to the company who are manufacturing the products, and downstream activities is more relevant to the process when the products are published to the customers and customers are getting this product. So first of all, upstream activities include inbound logistics, which is the process of getting materials inside into our business, the transportation process. So outbound logistics refers to us, the company, selling these products to the customers. Maybe the process of transferring from our factory to the retailers, or transferring our products in our inventories to customers or to our logistics companies for them to be delivered. So basically that's more about outbound logistics facing the customers. Then we have operations, which we can classify as maybe manufacturing, maybe programming, maybe computer aided manufacturing, computer aided design. We also have marketing and sales and services, which are more endpoint downstream activities closer to the customers. How do we advertise our products? How do we appeal our products? How do we use different strategy to gain sales in the market? What services can we provide to our customers to increase customer loyalty? How can we help our customers? And definitely the goal is to create profit. And supportive activities include infrastructure. This is not the infrastructure in a society like hospital or kind of a subway station. Infrastructure here refers to the personal infrastructure and the tech infrastructure, system infrastructure in the company. How your factories like your machineries, you can include human resources, but you see human resources in a separate column here. Infrastructure can also include the whole system, maybe the computational system in your factory, the whole departments in your company. And human resources definitely is related to the personnel, jobs and tasks and the system of management, delegation in your company. Then technology and R&D. R&D refers to research and development. This is basically the development of a new product, which can include from market research, from different trial and error, from different design, and to developing samples of this product. And after it ensures that this product, maybe we'll conduct some tests, and after we can make sure this product will be able to be published to the market, we'll go through operations to mass produce a product, maybe 100, 200, a few thousand, maybe millions of the product. And procurement. Procurement is basically the process of obtaining raw materials. So procurement can be linked to inbound logistics. Procurement, you can understand it by acquirement, because this is basically getting raw materials. If I'm a bread manufacturer, I'm just getting some wheat, getting some flour. If I'm an Apple, I'm getting some metal, silicon chips. So and plastic maybe, and keyboard, and some pigment for the keyboard, pigment for the computer, pigment for the iPhone. So that's about procurement. So procurement can be linked to inbound logistics because most companies do not own raw materials. They do not really grow the wheat if you're a bread company. So basically they need inbound logistics to get the providers to get maybe from the farmers, agriculture providers to basically transfer and deliver this product for manufacturing use. So this is about the value chain. Now let's see the supply chain. Value chain is about it's about the elements that we need in order to complete the supply chain management. And supply chain basically shows out how the supply process is carried out. So first of all, you see there are many different options for us to manufacture and choose what to manufacture first, what combinations to make, because even though you know that a car must require an engine, tire, car seat, windows, and electronics, different combinations may end up in different efficiency, accuracy, and cost. It may be if I manufacture the window first, it may be slower because I need the seat in order to lay the foundation, and maybe the car seat provider is too far away, so I should start with tire manufacturer first, so I'll do the car seat later so I can increase my efficiency. So there are different ways, different combinations, and maybe you can use your statistics, you can use your calculations and on planning on paper to find out which way is the most efficient way I can more quickly manufacture the products, but keep in mind you have to ensure the quality. After that, we try to assemble, and then we go to the dealer. If it's a car company, we go to the dealer, and the dealer will sell the cars to the customer one by one in the shop that you guys may have experience when your parents buy a car or something. So the multi-tier suppliers, then we have the manufacturer, and then we have distributor. We distribute it to the customer. So this is about the value chain or the supply chain system. Now let's look at another image of supply chain. So there are different ways that products can be supplied. You can go through a warehouse to a retailer. You can also go through a dealer. For example, the car case, it goes to a dealer to customer. In cases like Nike, Adidas, or kind of clothes like Zara, that goes to a retailer because the clothes is also supermarket is also a retailer. As you see in Singapore, it's FirePrice, Cold Storage. United States, you can see wholesalers who sell supermarket products like Costco and Target. And there are also ways such as they go through a distributor and then go to the retail, and there's also more cases that they go to a direct sales force and to the customer, which doesn't really happen common, which can be the example I talked about in the phone shop, because usually big companies only can concentrate on part of the production, and it's cheaper for them if they ask someone else, if they outsource the manufacturing or kind of a natural resources procurement process to someone else rather than them managing the whole process. So I just want to show you here there are many different ways products can be delivered to the customers and the processes in between. A website as well, because now e-commerce is possible. If some shops are applying this e-commerce strategy, then after the customer orders the product, the company who makes this product will definitely outsource to a logistics company like Express, something like that, to kind of transfer to deliver this product to the customer. So they are kind of saving cost delivering if they have their own people deliver, than if they acquire someone from a specialized delivery company to deliver their products to the customers. Now let's look at value through supply chain management. So now the value chain include basically SMDC. So first of all, S refers to supplier, and M refers to manufacturer, D is the distributor, and C is the customer. So this is the whole process of how it can be distributed. In the distributor side, you can directly go to a retailer and go to the customer, or products can go through a wholesaler first, then to the retailer, because sometimes retailer buy less and the price is the price can be, and they are not going to afford a lot of products. If you want to sell off a lot and to get the cash flow, maybe you can consider selling to a wholesaler, or if retailer are not interested in your product, you may consider a wholesaler as well, first of all. So there are many different ways of the distribution channels through different distributors. And if you want to sell to another country, you can acquire an agent in the distributor as well, which can help you to advertise and sell your products to customers in another country that you do not really that you are not really managing in. But if a country, companies like multinational corporations like Nike, Adidas, they actually have their distributors in other countries. Like they also apply this called franchise. So in other countries, you can also see Nike stores, and you can see their distribution channel built very smoothly. Every day, clothes go to Nike retail stores in Vietnam, in China, in UK, in US, around the world. Yeah. Then so value is equal to utility over cost is also equal to responsiveness times efficiency. So now important words here. What is efficiency and responsiveness? So efficiency here refers to SMD, which is a skill required to produce at high productivity level, produce quickly while ensuring quality, and then after it's directed to the customer. The responsiveness is the important point, which is how satisfied will the customer be in from your product. So in this part, you're going to be focused on efficiency, how fast can you produce, how much quality can you ensure, how effective is your production channel. Then in the responsiveness side is how your product satisfies your customer and how flexibility is your product. We'll discuss efficiency and responsiveness in the next lecture of management capability in a greater detail. So here are just some examples. So I just lay this down. Okay, here are some examples of a supply chain SMDG. Let's take example of here the Dell. If Dell is a manufacturer of different computers, it may acquire some raw materials even from Microsoft, because although Microsoft makes computer, it also makes kind of chips. So so a company can be in different locations. So in this case, Microsoft is here if it's selling chips, but Microsoft can also be here in the distribution because there are also Microsoft stores. And it can also be a manufacturer part. So they develop these products basically, and they they can be in different locations. And then you can see Dell manufactures the product and it's distributed to different markets like Best Buy, Circuit City, and Walmart. Then it's delivered to the end customers. Taking this another example, CJ is a food company. If CJ provides raw materials to Emart, the Emart will manufacture. It's a supermarket chain. You are kind of it's not manufacturer, although it's kind of M, but in this case, Emart is basically assembling all this food, and they are going to sell to individual retail stores, and then the retail stores will sell the food to different customers. So since it's a food company, the manufacturing is not like computers with machineries, but I guess the role of Emart here is basically to assemble this food, to package this food, and then sell it to individual retail stores. And for this example of a hotel, there are various food suppliers for food, laundry, maybe for the towers. Then to the hotel stage, the hotel will basically manage these resources, and they will then sell this to internal customer contact points. They will also deliver them to the contact points for use. Then end customers will enjoy this kind of foods and laundry as a hotel guest. So in this hotel example, what we're seeing is a hotel can add two different roles. It can be both M and C because it can be both M and D because the hotel can be the hotel can maybe manufacture the foods, can be packaging the foods and package the laundries. But then when it's distributed inside each hotel, right? Because when the customer order food, the food is going to come to the room, or when they eat in the restaurant in the hotel, they're going to eat in the hotel as well. So maybe the hotel can be in different positions. It can be M and D, both M and D, and customers enjoy this stuff that went through in M inside the hotel. So the hotel actually lies on all three positions in this case. So I want to tell you what I said is basically a company can lie in different positions of a supply chain. Now let's go to the value cycle. So value cycle can first of all include involve the integration of new product innovation and supply chain management. New product innovation is relatively really important in the society nowadays because it is basically the process of innovation and coming out with new products with new features in the market. But until very recently, new product development has been treated as a separate issue with dispersed research. But now, in the 21st century, gradually, now new product development is beginning to be an important part that is to be combined with supply chain management. Because firms have to be able to achieve competitive advantage in the global market, they have to be able to do skillful new product development. So the last slide is kind of also the very important slide in this video is value life cycle. So you may not all have learned about product life cycle, which you have learned in marketing. It is about research, development, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. This is basically a process of sales and profit inside the company. So first of all, the company experiences low sales and no sales maybe, and negative profits because they are developing this product, and afterwards they are selling this product. Maybe they will experience a growth, and at the maturity point they will experience higher sales and highest profits. Then the product is going to be declined. A new product development cycle should be combined with PLC to form what is called a value life cycle, because in NPC, new product development cycle, will actually it's actually about the variable, the y coordinate is actually about number of alternative concept and design, and the x coordinate is about time. So as time goes, the number of alternative designs is less. So first of all, when a company starts to develop their products, they may have limited idea, and gradually, well, maybe they team up together, they come out with different ideas, they're trying different ideas for new product development since it's still the stage. But when the product is going to be published in the market, they already have ensured and already have decided on what to make, what is to be come out, what is the design of the new product. So the alternative design number will get less and less, and you will then reach product life cycle when it's developed in the market. Why is it very important to draw MPC along with PLC while managing supply chain management? This is because in MPC you already have to consider about reaction in PLC. For example, if in PLC you find out if you predict that your product in maybe after 5 months time will reach maturity, afterwards you'll experience a decline, you may have to change your number of alternative designs in MPC to ensure that your products can stay longer in the maturity stage, while not to be lost and not to be won over by a competitor. So it's definitely really important to combine MPC with PLC in the market. Okay guys, so this is about the first lecture on supply chain management. Hope you have grabbed something out of this. So let's have a brief recap. So first of all, we understood what is supply chain management. Then we talked about value creation process. Then we went through Michael Porter's value chain, including the primary and subordinate activities. Then we looked at some examples, different ways of value supply chain. Then we discussed about SMDC in the value chain and the goals we have to achieve, which are efficiency and responsiveness. Then we gave more examples on real-life companies related to SMDC in the supply chain. Actually, I forgot to say that the focal company is actually the M, because M actually basically is a manufacturer, and it's a manufacturer and it's a service creator that actually create this product before it's after its raw materials are obtained and before products are sold. So basically, the focal point is M. M is definitely really important, but however, it depends on what your company is. For companies like Dell, definitely S is important because although manufacturer makes the real products to the market, but you need the resources, right? You need to have a high level and good quality Microsoft chip in order to manufacture a product to get sold in the market by Dell. So I mean, M is a focal company, but every process in a supply chain is definitely of equal importance. Then we discuss about value life cycle, that is a combination of product life cycle to MPC, new product life cycle. The goal is to be able to make certain decision when you are dealing with new product life cycle. Okay, thank you for listening, and in the next lecture I'll be discussing about managing capability, and in the third lecture I'll be discussing about learning capability. If you have any questions, please comment in the comment section below. You can also contact me in LinkedIn. I put my profile in my introduction in my YouTube page. Okay, thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next video.